hit that notification button. Don't forget to share this video with your fellow veterans. Good evening, everyone. My name is Dwayne Kimball, United States Army veteran and retired VA rating specialist. Welcome this evening to my monthly Q&A, where the topic of discussion is going to be high-level review mistakes, and then we're going to get into some Q&A. But before I get into that, I have dropped a link in the comment section. You can we still have seats available for our veteran monthly membership. It's been live for over a month now. I think I've done 3 live streams, and then I record those. People are welcome to come on. They post questions to the Google Doc within the membership. I go over those questions, and then I give a block of instructions. And for those individuals that aren't able to make it, don't worry about it. I record it and I upload it to the membership portal, and members are the only ones that have access to those videos. Also, I'll put a link to my book, VA Claim Success. It is a guaranteed game changer as it pertains to the VA compensation claims process. Also, I had a video to go up today at noon. Make sure you check it out, how to win your VA claim for IU, individual unemployability. So when I did that, recorded the video, I was like, you know what? I'll just do a training. And guess what? It is free. Okay. Now, unfortunately, it's sold out today. Even though it's free, it's sold out. There's no more seats. I only open it up to 25 people. So when I do free events and veterans sign up, so in this case, 25 people, I might be lucky to get 10. But I guarantee if I'd have charged $9.99, $10, all those people would have showed up. But nonetheless, it is free. I'm not recording it. Okay. Also, I'm only going to be taking questions about IU. If you ask me anything other than IU, I'm not answering, because that is the topic of discussion, and it's going to be 1 hour. Okay. So before we get into the Q&A, see, we got about 57 people in. Make sure you can, one, hear me. I already tested my audio, so I should be good to go. Okay. Let me know in the comment section where you're from. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Okay. So topic of discussion tonight, high-level review mistakes. But you know, I was thinking, before I get into that, I was thinking, have I ever met someone and I actually rated their case? It's weird. I don't know why I was thinking that. I was saying I'm a former raider. I'm like, how many people that I've come into contact with, either in a live stream, a monthly Q&A event, and I actually rated that claim or case. Now, I don't remember names of cases because I rated hundreds of them. Okay. But I will tell you this. If you filed a claim, I want to say over 10 years ago, and you lived in the state of Florida, and the last 2 digits of your social security number is 08, I would say 75 to 80% of the time, I may have touched a claim in some part. Okay. I'll leave it. I'll leave right there. I don't know why I was thinking that, but I'll leave that right there. Okay. So what are some of the common mistakes that I've seen veterans make on appeal / high-level review when I rate it, and even now? So we're going to go over some of those. Okay. Not having a copy of your VA claims folder. Okay. I've done a couple videos on how to speed up that process once you submit that FOIA request to VBA. It is surprising to me that veterans think that there's a high percentage of winning that appeal / high-level review without the claims folder. Now, I'm not saying that it can't be done, but more complex high-level reviews or rating decisions you're going to need that claims folder because you're going to need to see exactly what that DRO, decision review officer, is going to be looking at or should be looking at. Okay. And that's how you build your case. So if you hadn't already done so, go out, make sure you get a copy of that VBA claims folder C file. Okay. Number two, not knowing what you are doing for your high level review, meaning why are you filing a high level review? A lot of people say, oh, I was talking to such and I watched this video and they said, oh, just do a high level review. On what? You're going to do the effective date? The percentage is wrong? What is the purpose of you doing a high level review? You need to know that before you do a high level review. Okay. For example, veterans claim, let's just say a condition, and that condition is X, and they get denied. Somebody says, well, just file a high level review, you'll win. Well, if that condition, which is X, doesn't fall under the 5 ways of service connection, guess what? They're going to do confirm and continue of that denial. So understand what you are appealing or filing that high level review before you even file it. Don't waste your time and do not waste the VA's time. Okay. Not asking their first name, location they work out of, the 3-digit regional office code. And more than likely, they're going to say they work either St. Petersburg or Seattle, but those individuals have droves that they work out of those locations, but they could be living in Texas or Georgia or South Carolina somewhere. They're just working remotely. Okay. Now, you may ask yourself, well, Dwayne, why do I need that information? Because if you ever get to the point where you're talking to somebody on the phone and they're asking you about the high level review, not saying that's going to happen every time. Okay. But then you should have already been taking notes. Okay. Taking notes on something. And you can say, hey, the decision review officer that I talked to from informal conference or whatever, this is their name. This is the 3-digit code of regional office they worked out of. They did confirm if they were a DRO, decision review officer. Okay. So it's not what we say, is what we can prove. All right. Because if you ever find yourself in a case and you're talking with someone and they're looking in VBMS, guess what? Now they can look in the notes section and be like, oh, yeah, he talked to Mandy. He talked to Mindy or Larry or Joe or whomever. Okay. Also, veterans, they don't ask the DRO if they review their 0996 and are familiar with why they are doing the high level review. That decision review officer should have already done what is called a cursory review. I did a video, I can't remember which name of the video, but I was talking about high level review. And I showed the M21-1 manual reference stating that the DRO should do a cursory review, but a lot of them are not doing it because they don't think that you know. Okay. And I'm telling you. And so when they say, no, I didn't want any bias. I just want to hear your side of the story first. Well, according to M21-1, and give that number in the name of that, it states and read it verbatim. Okay. Every time I did an RVSR hearing, I looked at that case before I walked into the hearing. I want to familiarize myself with it. Now, if I saw that there was evidence in there that I could go ahead and grant the benefit, I'm calling the vet, or the vet had a lawyer, a claims agent, a VSO, POA, whomever. Hey, look, I can go ahead. The vet don't need to drive down here, put this on the VA form 21-4138 saying you're going to forego the hearing. I can go ahead and grant the benefit. Now, when I make that contact, I had to put it on an 0820 port of contact and put it in the claims folder. Okay. So these are some nuggets now. I hope you're paying attention because these are some insider nuggets. Okay. Also, veteran is not able to argue fact or law. And let me give you an example of something that is not, I repeat, is not fact or law. Oh, I wore the uniform. No, no, no. You're going to lose that every single time. Okay. you need to argue fact or law. Let me give you an example. And I've been using this example a lot in some of my videos because I've been seeing some VA employees refuse to adhere to it. For example, veteran submits a sufficient DBQ and or Nexus if needed. 38 CFR 3.326, subpart B, subpart C. I know a lot of people are, probably tired of hearing it, but I'm gonna keep pressing it and pressing it until you understand it. Okay. And the VA decided, VA employee that's not an advocate for you decides, oh, I'm going to request an exam. And the veteran says, I'm not going. Then they say, okay, Mr. or Ms. Veteran, I'm going to show you, I'm going to do an ACE exam. And I did a video on when they're prohibited from doing it. And they're doing it for mental conditions and they're prohibited from doing it. But guess what? Those individuals are thinking, you the vet, oh, they don't know Dwayne. So he's telling them the inside scoop. They don't know him. So they're not the wiser. But you do know because I'm telling you, right? So then they do an ACE exam. And you're like, wait a minute. And the doctor says, no, if it's a secondary, you're claiming major depressive disorder, secondary to all your service-connected conditions, that's a nugget. Or if you're claiming an increase in your PTSD, okay, or you file a new claim on direct service connection. All right. Now, when you get to the HLR, say it's denied. The argument, the fact, they violated that regulation. Now, I talked about this in a previous video, a recent video, and somebody gave me, I can't remember it, 38 CFR 3.611 or 51511, something like that. But it's talking about if the veteran refuses the exam. Woo! Now you got a negative opinion from the CMP examiner or confirm to continue, increase, whatever. Or if they're in rater says you refuse the exam without good cause. Okay. So they're going to use that regulation over there to justify their denial. You're going to use the regulation I just gave you to justify the approval. You have two pieces of evidence, negative and positive. Two pieces of evidence, and then you have a negative 38 CFR and a positive 38 CFR. That VA employee that's not an advocate for you is going to use that negative 38 CFR. You're going to argue the positive 38 CFR that I just gave you, 3.3, 3.356 subpart B, subpart C, okay? Because when you got a negative and positive, the evidence is in equipoise. And now you can raise a reasonable doubt, which is another 38 CFR. So now you got two against one, you're trumping. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to be an automatic, okay, but we've had clients that use that strategy in their favor and win. And I've talked to veterans or they left comments on my YouTube channel and said, Dwayne, I did exactly what you taught us and it worked. Okay. So I'm not saying it's going to work every time because it's going to depend on who that decision review officer. If it lands on somebody's desk at the VA that's not an advocate for veterans, you may have a little bit harder time. But when they do that, you still have appeal rights. Okay. Now, when the DRO tells you there was a DTA error, duty to assist error, okay, veterans not asking, explain that DTA error that you see. Explain it to me. What is it? They're getting off the phone during that informal conference, and then they jump on YouTube and they say, Dwayne, what do you think the DTA error was? What do you mean? And I'm thinking they're just asking me like, just a random question, like, because they know, but they don't know. They're actually asking me. I'm like, wait a minute. You had the person on the phone that could tell you the DTA error that they saw and how they're going to correct that DTA error. What is it? Okay. Now, example of a DTA error is, let's just say on the 526 EZ, you put down, you got treatment from somewhere. Okay. And the VSR never developed to go out and get those records for you. Okay, they got to give you due process. And you go to the exam, and the exam is negative, right? The examiner gives a negative opinion. It comes back, the rater doesn't catch it, rate the case, denies the claim, you appeal it. That is a DTA error. Now, they're not going, more than likely, they're not going back to that CMP exam. They're just saying, hey, when you state that you got treatment somewhere, we have to go out and get those records. And we didn't do it. That's it. So they go out and get the records, confirm and continue. But veterans get off the phone without asking that question. And guess what? They're like, oh, yeah, I had a DTA error. And then they get denied. Look, Dwayne, I had a DTA error. So what does that mean? I'm telling you right now what it means. And one example. Okay. So before you get off that phone, if that decision review officer tells you there was a DTA error, say, ma'am or sir, do you mind explaining exactly what that error is? Because wait for it. I want to know if it's going in my favor or is it just development that you all were supposed to do but didn't do, and it will not change the outcome of the case. You're just doing the detail just to cover your butt, cover the rater's butt. Okay. These are things that you need to be asking. Okay. Now, if you're a veteran that says, oh, I want somebody to fill my paperwork out and represent me, and which is fine. But if that POA claims agent or lawyer is not asking these questions with you when you're on that informal conference, you might want to get somebody else to represent you. Okay. I'm just saying. If you have an actionable DBQ and Nexus, if needed, can they rate the case per 38 CFR 3.326? If you fall in that category, ask the question. Simple. Ask the question. I submitted a sufficient DBQ and Nexus that was needed. The rater didn't rate with it. Can you rate with it? Because it states this, and you need to have that regulation in front of you, because guess what? The first question is not having a copy of your VA claims file. You already have that. Not knowing what you're doing with your high-level review. That was number 2 that I covered. Guess what? You know exactly why you're arguing, what your argument is going to be in that informal conference when you submit that high-level review. It's as simple as that. Now, I'm not saying you could do all these things and it's going to be a guarantee. Trust me, you will get a lot of respect from that Joe, because they're going to be like, you know what? This veteran's been on Dwayne channel, and he telling it all. I don't care. I'm telling it all. But you need to understand this, okay? If you can't understand it and you need somebody to fight in your case, and fight your case for you, you want to representation, ask questions. Tell them what you want done, and you want to be informed along the way. Ask them questions too. Okay, this is your case. It's not theirs. Okay. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and we are going to get into some questions, because I see, man, that's a lot of people asking some questions. So we got 131 people in here. Let's get these likes up, people. Let's get them up. I'm going to go ahead and jump into this Q&A. Again, I'm putting a link for my book, and I'm just going to do the membership because I don't want to put these in here together, because I don't know if it'll mess up the links. But for the book, if you put in, I gave you a coupon code for 15% off. Okay. Also, I've been having some people leave me some really good comments. Okay. Let me know some topics that you would like for me to do a video on. I'm going to say that again. Topic. When people leave a comment and they give me a scenario of their specific claim, I don't do that. Because if I were to do that without looking at any information, I'm giving you some bad data. Okay. But a topic from an RVSR standpoint, keep in mind, I never was a VSR. I never did development. I was only a rater. That's all I did was rate. A lot of topics, like as it pertains to voc rehab, stuff like that, I never used it. I never worked in voc rehab. Raters don't work in voc rehab unless they move positions. Okay. But I've been trying to find some, just different topics that I think that will help you win your case. And if you want to know which videos to look at on my channel, Look at the ones that got under 5,000 views. Those are probably some of the best ones out there. Okay. Um, Mr. Young, I'm gonna throw your question up right now. I can tell Mr. Young hadn't been following me because guess what, Mr. Young? I have done a video on effective dates. Okay, I've done a video on effective dates. All right. Okay, so let's get back up to the top here. Okay. All right. BC. Hello. Hey, Dwayne. First, thanks for what you do. I have recommended your book to many of my Marines. Thank you, Brian. I definitely appreciate that. I packaged up about almost 20 books today to go out tomorrow. If you decide to order a book, make sure you get your order in by next Monday. Okay. I'm going on vacation Tuesday. So I'll leave the site up for people to order. But if you order it between next Tuesday and next Sunday, the book will not be shipped out until June 17th. Okay. So if you pay for ground, it's not going to get there in 3 to 5 days because I'm going to be on vacation. So make sure if you do purchase it tonight or all the way up to next Monday, it will go out before I go on vacation. I will be taking books to the post office myself that Monday before I fly out. Okay. But thank you for the support, Brian. I definitely appreciate it. Brian, let me know if you read the book. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments. Okay. And if anybody else read the book, let me know. All right. Brian says back spasm claim denied, stating there is no evidence available for review in the current medical literature that back spasms over 1 week in 2010 can cause arthritis 10 years later. Advice. Brian, I would need to know how you claimed it. Did you claim it secondary? On a direct basis. Also, look in the notification letter because the VA gives you options when they deny a claim. And also, did you have a CMP exam? Because if you had a CMP exam, that means that doctor said no. And when you get a copy of their claims folder, you see the CMP exam, and guess what else is in there? The medical opinion, but the rationale. Okay, it is spelled out. And just because they said no, you could still go back and claim it, but you need to know or reopen it. You need to know exactly why they said no. That's where I would start. Okay. Bernard, what's going on, Bernard? Since following you and reading your book, thank you for the support for the past 2 years, going from 30, 50 to 80, now in decision mode for TDIU. Thank you for what you do for us. I started this role 2009 at 10%. Bernard, man, you know what? That is awesome, brother. I am glad for you. And I don't recognize your name. So I know you weren't a client, but check this out, people. He made an investment in the book. Maybe he spent $29.99. I don't know, Bernard. Maybe you got it early with a coupon code. And he's been going back and forth 2 years. And look where it's got it. Okay. Awesome job, Bernard. Awesome. Let others know in the comment section how being educated, how education on this process help you. I mean, you just put it right there, but just give everybody, a taste of, how you were able to get educated. What were some of the topics, especially the videos that you saw or anything that jumped out that really helped you that I put in the book. Twisted. What's going on, Twisted? Twisted, Twisted L. I think Twisted was the last question on our 12-hour live stream because he was like, "Oh, I got some contractors in the house." So Twisted, I definitely remember the name, and I think that was you. But we got his question before we logged off. Before I answer your question, Twisted, I forgot. I want to give a shout out to someone I do live streams with, David Piatek. I'm sorry. His YouTube channel is VA Housing Education. A lot of you probably watched us, especially if you saw a 12-hour live stream. He is a wealth of knowledge as it pertains to the VA home loan. Go to his YouTube channel, VA Housing Education. Also, link up with him on LinkedIn. I know he's on LinkedIn, and I think he has a Facebook business page. If you're thinking about refinancing, purchasing a home. Say, Dave, hey, I saw Dwayne, he mentioned you, or I saw you and Dwayne on a live stream. Reach out to him. And he's always said, hey, reach out. If you get some documents and you don't understand them, hey, send them over to us and his team will look at them for you. Awesome. Not even charge you anything for it. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. Twisted. DK, thank you for all. Thank you for all that you do. Keep it up. Will do, sir. This is my passion. As long as you all continue to support me, hey, I'll keep giving you these free videos. For high-level For high-level review, should one always request an informal conference, or is there scenarios where it is not necessary? Man, awesome question. One in particular, I can think of right off the top of my head. Let's say you claim migraine headaches and you get granted at 0%, but you claimed it stating, I am claiming migraine/headaches as direct service connection, meaning use treating service, or maybe secondary to something. I have the following symptoms. I now present with completely prostrating attack, severe economic inadaptability. That's the 50% criteria. Okay. You get the rating decision. They grant you service connection, but they only give you 0%. So you said, okay, it's only been a month. I'll just do an increase and use the same wording. I'm filing an increase in my service connected migraines or headaches, whatever, which one, they're both the same under diagnostic code 8100. As stated on my previous VA form 21526, signed whatever date, I noted I have very complete prostrating attacks of severe economic inadaptability. Now, when the rating decision comes back, they keep you at 0%. And in the rating decision, the rater says, oh, your doctor did state you informed him or her your migraines or headaches interfere with your employment, and they keep you at 0. You can do a high-level review without an informal conference and just kind of like spell that out basically the same way that I stated. So the only thing that you would add, hey, I'm appealing the percentage due to the fact that on VA form 21-526CC, EZ dated, whatever the date it is, you stated, and you give them that personal statement like I just gave you. Okay. Then you put on VA form 20-0995 the wording that you put there. And then in rating decision dated this particular date, the rater stated that I informed the examiner that my migraines interfere with my employment. Those 3 statements alone, that Joe should look at that, grant you the increase to 50% of service connection for 50%. So that's just one example. There's many others. Okay. If you do it that way, you might get a faster response, because then you got to wait on a high-level review, and that may take a little bit longer. Also, make sure you go to my channel. I had a video go up, I think it was on Monday, last Friday or Monday, where I talked about scheduling your high-level review. A lot of people have been, I shared the link, and a lot of people saying, hey, they're canceling it. They cancel it, and I can't get the link. And so a lot of people were there responding. They were saying, hey, you have to go back maybe 2 or 3 times. Also in that video, I stated, you need to make sure you got that 0996 on file, because in that video it states they possibly would cancel it, especially if it's premature. And I explained how to call that number and what to say. Okay. A lot of people saying, oh, they're canceling it, saying it was premature. And I'm like, do you have 0996 on file? One person said, well, what's that? Why are you even clicking the link if you don't know what it is? Okay. All right, Twisted. Marty, Mr. Kimball, process question. When you rated at the DBQ clinic events, I didn't rate at I never got selected. Maybe because they just didn't want me. I think I was working from home full time. So I was like, I'm not going to office, but I worked at the FDC clinic, fully development clinic. Okay. Did you have access to VBMS? Yeah, I had access to VBMS. I was in VBMS every day I worked. Okay. Unless I was doing tasks or doing something else. but it's actually VBMS R. If a vet had a claim sitting with CMP done, went to your event and asked to be rated, could you have now? Um, did I? I'm trying to think. When I at the FDC clinic, a lot of times I didn't. But what I would do, Marty, in one case, I think I shared this. A Vietnam vet came in, and he was doing an increase in ischemic heart disease, and he said, "I got a DBQ here, and I should be 30%." And so I looked at it, and I'm like, mm, "Yep, the DBQ shows 30%." And I was like, "Did you get any treatment at the VA hospital here?" He was like, "Yeah, I get all my treatment here." So I went in and I did a search, just put in ISD, and then I put in METs because when you rate ISD, IHD, ischemic heart disease, one of those symptoms is called METS level, METS. And his METS level in his VA medical records showed that I could grant the 60%. So what I did was I had to go to a VSR because I never was a VSR. I never established an EP control for it. They established it, and I rated the case before I went home. But I think there are some clinics, Marty, that you know they give raters or say raters can rate, but sometimes it's hard to do that. Majority of the time, I would say because it could be a lot of evidence. Okay, you don't want to be sitting there in front of a veteran rushing, looking through all that evidence. Okay. Twist, does priority processing have any effect on HLR? And is there a difference between, excuse me, flag for priority processing and flag for homelessness? Well, actually, homelessness, they're going to flag it for that. Homelessness is a priority processing. So when they flag it, the claim for homeless, then it falls on the priority process and they go to the front of the line. And they should be doing that on appeals, a high level review as well. John, I have two issues still in remand since May 2023. Had a CMP exam back in January and medical option review back in April. I feel I get the runaround yeah, you're going to get the runaround at the 800 number, John. Yeah, you're going to get it. They don't have anything to do with rating. They don't have anything to do with remand. They're just going to see what's in VBMSR, tell you some stuff and get you off the phone. They give you the runaround because they don't know. They just answer the phone and answer simple questions. John, that's it. Guess what? I have a video. Just go to my channel and type in 800. What kind of information can you expect when you call the 800 number? Not a lot. Okay. You might get someone that probably rated before, and now they're VSR, or they're phone rep now. They may be able to give you a little bit more information. You're not going to get a lot when you call that number. A lot of people call that number thinking, "Oh man, they're going to tell me out." No, 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 John, don't do it. What is the next step to find out what's going on with the claim? Um, the VA, you know what? The VA, I did I'm trying to think what video was this recently, I think. It hasn't been posted yet. Okay. I'm going to be talking about PACT Act and the intent to file. Go to va.gov, log in. They're doing a little bit better job. I don't know how much information you get, but I think, John, you can go there because I went when I did, I can't remember if it was dependent. I did something, a claims folder, and they had stuff broken down. I was like, wow, I was kind of surprised. But again, don't expect a lot. Okay. Especially if you at BVA level. A lot of people call me. You know what I tell them, John? You got to let that play out because they remanded back. It's just now people playing ping pong, and they may not have a lot of people working in that department. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna put the link back to my veteran monthly membership. Okay. This is it right here. So when you see it, make sure you check it out. I got some really short videos. We got 22 lessons up. We're going to be dropping another lesson this week and another one in 2 more weeks. So current members, you're going to start seeing more lessons come in there. We send out newsletters, letting people know everybody should have got a newsletter. Saturday that's in the group about some upgrading their subscription. Okay. People that get the highest membership can meet with me once in 1 hour a month, and we're going to go over your claim. Not meaning go over like through your whole claims file, but it's going to be you and I, not one of my associates. It's going to be me, and we're going to talk about it. Some things that you possibly could do different, some things that um, you need to be doing that you may not be doing, and I'm going to help you understand not only the claims process, but how that process can impact what you're doing. Okay, and those people, individuals that get into the highest membership, they get to speak to me once month. Okay. And you can still ask questions in the membership as well that I'll answer whenever I go live. Army Truth, I love all your help on the VA disability process. Thank you for the support. I wish more vets would listen to your advice. Too many rusty old vets think most modern vets don't deserve disability. Hey, yeah, it's one of those things, but I definitely appreciate the support. Yeah, you know what? Leave me a comment. A lot of people leave me a comment, say, "Hey, Dwayne, thanks for what you're doing." Leave me a comment. I definitely appreciate it. That makes myself and the team feel really good. Let us know that we're making a small difference. Williams, thank you for all you do. Appreciate it, sir. Just had an HLR formal conference. Got their 3-digit destination title. Asked if they were recorded and if they would be in charge of making the decision. Williams, what was the answer? You left us hanging. You didn't tell us, like, okay, after you asked that, what did they say? Did they seem like them? Man, I'm sorry, I'm laughing. But did they seem like did they seem like you caught them off guard or what? Man, I'm like a fly on the wall over here. He just left us hanging. WB, thank you for doing this live segment. Not a problem. And I do these the first Wednesday of every month at 6 p.m., 1 hour. Okay. Okay, Idaho, happiness. I was up in Idaho. Oh, when was that? Last year? Was it last September, October? I think it was. Coeur d'Alene, Coeur d'Alene. I think that Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. I stayed at the resort, really nice resort. Gave a presentation there. James, South Carolina. Ain't been down there in South Carolina. I used to go to Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach. You know where I'm talking about, James. I don't go anymore those years ago. Daryl, Oklahoma in the house. Okay. I got reclassified at Fort Seal. Kevin, Bruce Lee, pay attention or you will miss all that heavenly glory. Can I withdraw my highlight review once they completed the CMP exam for the purpose of submitting my own private mental health exam in a supplemental? Yes, you can. Okay. But before you submit that supplemental, you have to confirm. And normally they'll send you a letter saying that, we received your request to withdraw. But you want to make sure once you submit it, the withdrawal request, before you submit that supplemental, call in and they should be able to tell you, yes, it's been withdrawn. Or when you get the letter in the mail, then you go ahead and submit that supplemental. Texas, Sun Lee. I was stationed at Fort Hood. I know they called it something else. Fort Cap. I don't want to mess the name up, but yep, I was there. Killeen, Coppers Cove, Williams. For their formal conference, it felt very natural and was able to speak about my concerns. How long until the city rater makes a decision? I am from Dallas. I was just in Dallas at the IDMF conference with Syracuse University. There's no Pacific time. I've seen them get done as soon as a week, some 6 months. So it's just like getting your claims folder. There's no set time frame. Okay, so we got 144 people in here. Somebody let me know how many thumbs up we got. All right. Virginia, okay. Never been to Virginia. Alabama. Okay. Bo, are you roll tide or you war eagle? Let me know. All right. Teddy. Hey, Mr. Kimball. Hey, Teddy. If you submit a DBQ from your primary care provider or physician on a supplemental, do you need a Nexus or IMO? Good question. And I think I did a video. If a Nexus needed, I might need to do another one. Um, if you're doing an increase, no, you do not need a Nexus. If you decide to pay for a DBQ, if you're doing an increase and you want to get a DBQ, do not pay anybody for a Nexus. Because if you're doing an increase, you don't need a Nexus. That's already been done. That's how you got service connected. Talked to a vet a couple of years ago, spent, I want to say $1,400, $1,800 on the Nexus. And we got to talking. I'm like, what do you get a Nexus for? Where's the DBQ? Oh, the company only told me, and I don't want to name the company. Oh, they only told me I need a Nexus. And I explained, I said, okay, so what are you claiming increase for? He says, oh, it's for my back. Okay, well, tell me the range of motion for your forward flexion that's in the Nexus. And he was like, it's not in there. They need to know that because that's the diagnostic code criteria for 5237, general rating formula for the back and the neck, range of motion. He spent all that money for nothing. It didn't have the information or evidence that the VBA, or rater needed to get him from his current percentage to the next higher percentage. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Ohio. Okay. I've been to Ohio. I went to somewhere north of Toledo. Can't think of the name. It was a little small town, flew in Detroit. And when I used to work for a juice company as a manager in Florida, did work in Stowe, Ohio. I think it's south of Akron, somewhere like that. All right. I don't care if they use the CMP from their contract. Okay. Yeah. What I'm just saying, Kevin, just make sure if you want to do that supplemental with your own, just make sure that it's a record that they've acknowledged your withdrawal, because if you submit it before they acknowledge that withdrawal, they're going to say, oh, we can't take it. You have it on a high level review and you don't want to waste your time. Okay. Doing our supplemental claims Monday. Can we do a 4138 to explain the CMP examiner said he was not allowed to view DBQ's evidence or letters? Can we turn in copies of current medication? Yeah, you can. But happiness. Question. If you had your own DBQs, why didn't you go to the exam? Now, a lot of veterans say, oh, you got to go. As a rater, if I received a claim from a veteran and the veteran refused that CMP exam, called 800-827-1000 and said, I'm not going because I have a sufficient DBQ, and they put it on that 526EZ or 0995 saying they're not going to go to that CMP exam, and they refuse it, and I get that claim, and I can use that DBQ and or Nexus if needed, I'm rating the case. I don't care even if the doctor provided an ACE exam and gave a negative opinion. As long as the evidence that the veteran submitted is sufficient and I can use it for rating purposes and that DBQ is filled out correctly and per the VA guidelines, I'm going with the vet every day. Okay. Now, I can't say other raters do that. I've been seeing other raters go the other way. Okay. So doing supplemental claims Monday, can we do 4138 to explain CMP examiner? As new evidence, make sure you look at my video, happiness, and see. I did a video. I can't remember if I called it new material or new and relevant evidence, but new evidence is evidence that the VA basically has never seen. Relevant evidence is evidence that's relevant to what you are reopening that claim for. Georgia, ATL, Atlanta, head HLR senior rater could call me with called you with no notice. I'm thinking, stated she had not reviewed my folder. Of course not, right? I said that earlier. Notified me of condition in review and asked for my statement, and the decision will be made in 7 days. Okay. Alec, what questions did you answer? Okay. I'm sorry, not answer, but what questions did you ask? Watching from Brandon, Mississippi. Where is Brandon, Mississippi, Mr. Caldwell? My grandfather was born in Tunica, Mississippi in 1901. All right. Do we have to file all supplemental claims at the same time? No. Can we turn in new, more solid DBQs for? Yes. When you say solid, what does that mean? Sufficient per VA guidelines, okay? Not your definition of sufficient, but the VA's definition. Keep that in mind. Abraham, we appreciate you. I appreciate you. But DSM, the system is scandalous towards vets. DSMN. Let me know what that is. I can't stress enough. Don't sleep on the one-on-one Q&A session. What's going on, Chris? Hope all is well with you down there, over there in SA. All right. Definitely appreciate that. Chris did do, I think, Chris, what did you do? A couple Q&As. And he was on our 12-hour live stream with David and I, asked some awesome questions. I kept him on. Say, hey, come back. Let you answer some of these questions, okay? Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Holly Starks, is this recorded, Dwayne, so I can listen again? Yes, it's on live on YouTube, so you can go back and watch it. Holly, yep. Darren Jones, thank you for that donation. Definitely appreciate it. How, Dwayne, I heard that if you submit a DBQ, it's advised not to attend the assigned CMP exam, and that on high-level review, they have to approve you. Okay, yes, they have to follow the VA regulations. They have to. But some VA employees do follow VA regulations? No, they do not. And that's why it's so important, Darren, you are educated. Again, I don't know what time you came in, but I went over some things, high-level review, that mistakes that veterans make, okay? And you always want to make sure that that you know what you're doing when it comes to that high-level review, okay? And let them point that out. If you say, hey, you're supposed to prove it, you got to argue fact or law, okay? I already bought your book. Thank you, Holly. Question, do you personally answer these comments yourself, or someone just answers? Oh, this is me. I'm looking at the comment right here. So I'm live, okay? This is not a record, Holly. Somebody help me out. I think Holly's a little bit probably confused. Tell her, yeah, Dwayne is live. And these comments yourself. So yeah, I'm live. All right. Art Davis. Good afternoon. Love your channel. Hey, definitely appreciate it. I noted that the VA can see on a claim that was denied MST in 2014. I recently received a letter referring. I'm not quite understanding that. Okay. Starks, you can rewatch this anytime he will answer if he has time. Okay. Now, one thing I do not do, once we're done, we got another about 12 minutes. I can't go back and answer those, like go through these comments and answer them. I try to get through as many as I can. Okay. Can the VA reduce 100% PNT, all conditions static? There's so many factors with this. A lot of people will say, oh, if you're 100% PNT and you come in, you open yourself up. No, you don't. And if anybody's saying that on YouTube, ask them, one, have you ever rated? And with 38 CFR court case that says that. Now, there are one example that I gave in some videos where I had to go back and look at some stuff, but the veteran knew they weren't supposed to have something and they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. Now, have I actually rated new claims for veterans that were already 100% permanent total, granted the condition? Sometimes I did. Sometimes I denied because, it just wasn't there and I had to per VA guidelines. And when I granted or denied, did I go back and look at everything else? No. You don't have time for that. No. Why would you? If a vet is 100% PNT and coming in claiming tinnitus and their service connected for PTSD at 70, sleep apnea at 50, migraines at 50, the back at 40, bilateral lower extremity at 20 for the sciatic, nerve, flat feet at 50. Why am I going back and looking at any of those other things? So somebody's telling you that, ask them to give you an explanation. Because when veterans say, oh yeah, they did me like that, it's something that veteran did and they're not telling you. Okay. and as YouTube clickbait. Veteran helping others. Hey, Darren Jones of DBQ and Nexus needs to be actionable sufficient for. There you go. That's it. Absolutely right. Jay outlined the detail error of my recent HLR and lined it with the repeat of the same error in a January CUE. I think the DRO is covering up for VSR. VSRs. They failed to access Capri. They are supposed to look at it. Capri is the system that not the system that house, but the system that VSRs and RVSRs can log in to see all your medical progress notes from any VA medical center. Joe, Mr. Kimball, my bro, has been denied service connection for stage 3 kidney failure and burn pits. He found a Raiders guide for burn pits and included stage kidney disease and link. Okay, if he had a CMP exam, what did the doctor say? Again, you need that claims folder to get some transparency. Okay. Somebody let me know how many likes we got. I don't see anybody telling me. Come on now, help me out. All right. To that information, are they going to us to use information to add to new claim, or will they backdate? What was your original question? Okay, so when you come back and you ask a second question, there's several people that have already left something, so I can't remember what the original one was. Alexander, one thing I see is that most veterans do not make a lay statement or a statement in support of claim. Excuse me, for especially for high-level reviews. You need to know what you're doing a high-level review for. Okay, you don't have to get into no long, drawn-out statements. You have to know. Okay, these people, VA employees, are on quotas. Okay, they don't have time to sit there and read a 15 or 20-page personal statement. Not saying that you do that, Mr. Young. I'm not saying that you. S. Howard, decision letter doesn't say anything about re-examination. Is that indication of no future exams? Okay, let me tell you everybody something. I have over 450 videos to include live streams on my channel. Subscribe. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. If you don't like the channel, unsubscribe. You're not going to hurt my feelings. But a lot of questions that I get about, do a video on this or this right here, re-examination, I have a video on that. And I'm not downplaying S. Howard. I'm not downplaying your question. The reason why is because in that video, I give you the verbiage that would be in the narrative if you do have a RFE, which is a routine future examination. Okay. So if you see in the narrative, since there's a likelihood of improvement, you have an RFE. I even give a copy. I think in that video, it's an older video, but it's still, the information is still the same. The code sheet, where to see the date on the code sheet. So if you're thinking about leaving a comment about a topic or something, go to my YouTube channel, type that keyword in or 2 keywords in and see if a video pop up. 9 times out of 10, I probably already did a video on it. Okay. And the reason why that's how, because I get a little bit more, I get more detail in that video that I can get in this live stream right here. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to put the link to the membership again. If anybody has any questions about the membership, there's information on the landing page. Okay. Alexander, topic, effective dates. I think that was the first question I asked. Court process and lawyer, no lawyer. So what do you mean, like BVA, court process, and lawyer, no lawyer? Okay. Still waiting for my supplemental claim to come back. The claims process is exhausting. Okay. A lot of people say, hey, the wait time. If you've been waiting 2 or 3 months, that's not a long time. Back when I did my claim, average wait time was like 12, 14 months. Okay. And it's still like that sometimes, but people are not saying, hey, I submitted all this evidence and VA has to go out and do this. But I'm sorry, L active, just, it's coming. It's coming. Okay. I hope you get it soon. It starts when a veteran is 0% rated. And what does it mean And what should the veteran do? You're 0%. Okay, we got to help Holly out. Holly's asking some really basic questions. Holly, you need to get in a private Q&A with me. Okay, we need to have a discussion. Like Chris B said, you will not be disappointed. We got to get you educated. Holly, the last few questions that you asked, I could tell that you don't have the basics as the on the VA claims process, and that's not a bad thing. I'm not calling you out. That's not a bad thing. We have to get you educated. Now, first thing you want to do, Holly, is call 1-800-827-1000. 1-800-827-1000. Ask them for a disability breakdown letter to include the diagnostic codes. Disability breakdown letter to include the diagnostic codes. Somebody put in the comments and help me walk, Holly through this. Chris, if you're still on, I know you know. Put it in there for me. Help me out. And requested they email you that letter. Now, when you get that letter, and I talk about this in my book, when you get that letter, you're going to have the percentage, which, you got 0%, the condition, and the 4-digit code. Google that 4-digit code or go to the VA's rating schedule on their website. Then you can see the criteria for the 10%, 20%. Also, you can find that information in your rating decision as well. Okay. You file a claim for what? Increase. All right. Psychosomatic insomnia, secondary PTSD. Mental is mental. That will be an increase. Michelle, topic, how a shoulder is rated. Actually, Michelle, I did do a video on that. I did a video on range of motion. So please go to my channel, type in range of motion or ROM. And that is the same. It will be for ankle, knee, hip, back, range of motion. And I even give you the instrument that is used to measure range of motion. I call it goniometer, but somebody corrected me. And so it's goniometer. Okay. All right, Michelle. Independent medical opinions, not DBQs. Nexus statements. What's in the Nexus statement? Medical opinions. I have a video on what's missing in your Nexus statement, but go to my channel, type in Nexus. Okay, it'll come up. Your book has a lot of good info, and read it before filing my claim. Yes. Okay, go out there. If you bought it on Amazon, leave a review. Let me know what you think. Okay. James, what if I filed for sleep apnea and they told me I had to do highlight review because it was denied before? You need a copy of your claims folder. You need to see what you did. You should already know what you filed before. You have to know this stuff. James, how you do it? Get a copy of that claims file, walk through. Okay. Hey, James, the only way. Okay, there we go, Chris. Chris is giving some information. Okay. M. Streeter, how would you go about reporting a CUE that was done in 2015? Well, it doesn't matter what year you did it, but guess what? I have a video on CUE. Okay, I'm telling you, people, please go to the channel, look this up. Okay, you got to figure out, does it even rise to the level of a CUE? Okay, people, I love the support on the channel. People subscribe. Okay, and I'm not saying this to get more subscribers, because people like Chris, I think Kevin is still in here. They've been following me for a while. Not only have they been on my live streams that I do, they've been in some training classes. They've been in some town halls that I used to do. There's a lot of information out there. They've actually, Chris, I was interviewing another veteran. And he was like, wait a minute, I was driving. I was listening to it. You said you're on this platform every Thursday. Chris jumped in there. It was free. I'm on there as one of their subject matter experts, answering people's questions for free, live on Zoom. Think people even ask me, hey, Dwayne, how did I get the link? Nope. Because they think it's free, so they don't bother to show up. Okay. And you get a lot of information for free. So, Streeter, you got to make sure it rises to the level of CUE first. So you need to understand what a CUE is, what a CUE is. Sounds like you know it, but in that video, I kind of break it down for you, okay? So make sure you go check it out. Sailor, I bought your book about 3 months ago and got my sleep apnea approved for 50%, but got denied for psychoinsomnia secondary PTSD. Yeah, that would be an increase. That would, you're not going to get that psychosomatic insomnia at 10% and the PTSD at 50. That'd be pyramiding. Guess what? I did a video on pyramiding. Mr. Gardner, I just copped the book. Get them likes up. Yep, there we go. All right. Gotta have a review coming up. Have my own IMO. But looks like they disagreed. 30 CFR ruling against me. My guy had support. So where's the DBQ? A lot of people are submitting these IMOs without DBQs. What are you doing? What are you doing? Can you do sleep apnea secondary to asthma? And even though you can only have one rate, yeah, you could do that. I'm not a medical professional, but I would say first happiness, go out there to see if there are any medical studies that have been done linking the two. Low testosterone and ED as a topic. Okay, have I done something on ED? I think I talked about ED on the SMCK. Okay, all right, but I got you, Mr. Caldwell. My HLR came back with a DTA medical opinion. CMP exam was ordered, and the exam was a video call that lasted less than 5 minutes. It was for sleep apnea. Okay, so I can tell again, people, I have a video on my channel talking about your CMPs. It is the veteran's fault if you get off that phone in 5 minutes. I'm not going to say it's the VAs. I'm not going to say it's even the examiners. It's the veteran's fault because I did a video where I did a mock video with DJ. DJ and I worked together, and we went through a CMP exam. And at the end, he was asking a bunch of questions, and these are questions that you all should ask. So it's the veteran's fault. If you hang up their phone after 5 minutes, and if you don't go through that DBQ, you don't ask no questions, that is on you. Now, I'm not saying if you do, you're going to get service connected, but you got to put your best foot forward. Okay, you got to. Mr. Caldwell said, just ordered today. Thank you for the support. Topic should upload evidence be all in one format? Yes. PDF, yes. That's not even a topic. I'm telling you right now, yes. With VHA, I never worked on VHA side. Never worked on it. So I can't tell you if they will give you ICD codes, but you can Google the ICD codes. Okay. Can I hear this live again so I can inform? Yes, subscribe to the channel. Holly, let me know if you subscribe to the channel. I want everybody right now to put in the comment section, ask Holly this question. Holly, have you subscribed to Dwayne's channel? I'm going to stay on about 5 more minutes. I want everybody to ask Holly that question. Okay. Holly, we're going to get you squared away, Holly. I am a voc rehab specialist and work at the VA. Okay, all right. So, man, Holly, I just had a question for you about voc rehab. So, Holly, how can a veteran, please leave us in the comment, if they have issues with voc rehab, who can they call? Because I get a lot of questions about voc rehab, and I've heard some voc rehab reps are giving out, some bad information. Okay, so if you got 14 years in there, you got a lot of good knowledge. JB, hello all. Holly, yes, you can view again later. Patrick Montgomery, can I argue the CMP examiner administered the incorrect DBQ? Yeah. But get a copy of your claims file. Because let's say you claim migraines and they did a back exam. I would have said, wait a minute, I'm not doing no range of motion because I'm not here for the back. I'm here for the migraines or whatever. Okay. B. Marcus, I see those comments you leave me every morning on my YouTube channel. What if you get DBQs that's marked total but have no symptoms on 100%? I answered that question, B. Marcus, this morning. Okay. So they're going to look at all the evidence. I've actually had the box checked an occupational impairment for 70% and some of the symptoms, but the veteran had some other information, and I had to justify bumping them up to 100. You don't see that a lot, but it can be done, especially if the raters know, if the rater is reviewing all evidence of record and they know what they're doing. Okay. I have a court hearing for diabetes and just had a heart attack and bypass. So sorry to hear that, John, related to the diabetes. So I found you can, it'll be secondary. You can. Okay. Okay, we're going to get off here. Alfonso say Stackhouse. Yep, hit that like button. Mr. K, I definitely appreciate it. Sue Lee, thank you for everything. I definitely appreciate it. I'm just gonna go through a rapid fire real quick. Donkey Kong. I have an eye vision claim exam coming up next week. Is that some let's see. Is that an extra that can get more? Vision is going to be, yeah, you got to look in the rating schedule because, yeah, you're right. They do 2 100, 2 400. You got to look and see where that falls under the diagnosis that they give you. Okay. Yep, I see that. Remember that. On the YouTube comments, Ms. Wayne, thanks for the information. Your videos have helped me out. I have purchased 3 books. Thank you for the support. Definitely appreciate it so far. Share with others. Vets are finding success with the book. I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate you. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, everybody. What we got 98, 29 people. We got 164 people in here. Okay. 101. Okay. Oh, so you say roll tide. Okay. On topic, talking to myself. All right. Um, all right. Thank you for the donation. Definitely appreciate it. Oh, also, if you don't know, um, the revenue that we generate from YouTube, we put it some of it back in the community. Just I think I talked about this last month, but we just gave 2 $1,000 scholarships to a couple of students over at Boca Ciega High School in Gulfport, Florida, which is in Pinellas County, St. Pete area. So definitely, we were definitely happy to do that. So yeah, we did two $1,000 scholarships. So 2 students, seniors, got $1,000. So definitely appreciate the donations. We're going to be giving out more scholarships and doing some things around Thanksgiving as well. Michigan here, every time live. I've been binging your videos. If my secondary claim doesn't go the way I want, I would be requesting a high review. Okay. Also, if you are in any groups, organizations, and you want us to do speaking engagements, let me know. I can get you in contact with my booking agent. Share these videos on your social media. They're free. Let other people watch them too. Don't just keep them to yourself. Share them with other veterans. A lot of people, hey, I bought 3 books and I'm giving them out to people. Hey, I definitely appreciate that. These videos are free. If you want to become a client, you go to the website. If not, hey, I totally understand. You can do this yourself. Okay. Just make sure you get educated. Okay. I remember that Andres Morales do back pay. I think I did back pay falls on an effective date. Okay. But I remember your picture from the YouTube comments. I definitely appreciate it. Oh, wait a minute. I just seen something. I have a video on this. I have a video on it, Maurice. Go to my channel, type in car. I have a video on it. Okay. All right, just going through, I want to recognize some people. Eli Riddle, thank you for the support. Definitely appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. I'm not going to get through uh, everybody's questions. I do apologize. I am about 10 minutes over. Giving help for free. I definitely appreciate it. It's that time. All right. Jackson, Mississippi. I see you. Okay. So I definitely appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up, everybody. Man, a lot of good questions tonight. I'm sorry I can't get through all of these because I know I would be on here another hour. Just want to give a shout out to people that donated. I am a newly accredited VA claims agent. Hey, good luck with that. Thank you for repping vets. Do you have any suggestion on how to prepare for a high level review? Mr. International, Go back and watch the beginning of this video because I talk about some mistakes that individuals make. Also, I have several videos on my YouTube channel where I talk about high level review. I even interviewed an Army officer and she explained how she was able to look at my videos and create a binder from about my high level review videos and win. Okay. But I would say this, even if you are representing somebody on high level review as a claims agent, look in VBMS, see what that veteran claimed. Look at that 526EZ. The veteran had a CMP exam, look at that. The veteran had a DBQ, see if it's actionable and sufficient. Look at that rating decision more than once because the training is not the same and these raters are making a lot of mistakes. Okay. Understand the court cases. I have a video on my channel where I'm showing people how to use the M21 manual reference to get the different court cases in 38 CFRs. Okay. It's not that hard. It's going to take some time to learn, but once you get it, trust me, you'll be dangerous with that information. Lifeboat, thank you for the donation. Continues to pursue claim. Yep. Got 100. Now fighting effective date. High level review denied. Date change. If I submit a supplemental now, are they likely to send me? Um, that's going to be kind of hard for the effective date. You just got to see why normally effective dates are pretty easy because the evidence is, once you get a copy of that claims file, if you did intent to file, you submitted that prescribed claim form within a year, that should be easy. Not saying that yours is like that, but those effective dates, just go back and look because doing a supplemental on effective date, I don't know. I'll probably take that to a judge. Okay. Okay. Wait a minute. Okay. There we go. Just said that. Okay. Oh, I want to give everybody a shout out. Kate, thank you for the donation. How do we get a one-on-one consultation if you already answered, just came in live and new to the channel? Okay. Kate, did you subscribe to the channel? Sure. Go to my website, Kay. I'm going to put the website in the comment section for you. www. Nope. I'll tell you what. Email. My email. Put my glasses on. Okay. Info at kmd89.com. Okay. Email me there. Kay, I'll be on vacation going on vacation on the 11th, next Tuesday. I'm trying to fit as many Q&A sessions in before I leave. Okay. If not, we'll get it in the week after when I get back. Okay. So my office manager will reach out. Make sure when you go to the website, also www.kmd89.com, so you can see the price of the Q&A and the description and what we will be talking about, what it covers, what we don't cover. Okay. All right. So James Montgomery, thank you for the support. Join his membership and get that service link. There you go. Yep. If you join, all right, JP, thanks. Subscribe. So yes, Kay, if you do the membership, you get an hour with me every month. And that, so think about that as well. I put the go back in the comments. I'll do it again. The link to the membership for you. Okay. I think we just had another donation. Yes, don't call. Yeah, have you subscribed to the channel, Holly? Come on. All right, work with me. Thanks for all you do. Appreciate it. Last one, International. Thanks again for the donation, Mr. International. I really, really appreciate it. Donkey Kong, thank you. Thanks everybody for the presentation. And the donation. I'm gonna leave everybody with this. I want to get emotional when I talk about this. Don't you dare give up. If you serve, you deserve. If you feel that You are entitled to these benefits. Don't you dare give up and let that negative CMP examiner or that negative V employee, because they're out there, don't you dare let them win. You fight tooth and nail. You went to basic training, you didn't give up. You went to AIT tech school, you didn't give up. And you're gonna let somebody tell you no, knowing that they violated a particular regulation? No, don't you dare give up. You fight. Okay. You've been trained to fight. Fight. You know how to do it. Okay. Stay in the game. We got one donation came through: frequent urination symptoms while in service. Have complaints in service. Been seen by 4 different urologists. Have a private DBQ. Should I file initial or a secondary to lumbar? You can actually do both. But direct probably would, you know, I don't know your whole medical history there, but if it's documented in service, that falls under direct. Okay. So everybody, make sure you like, subscribe. Holly, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and don't forget to share this video with your fellow veterans. And again, don't you dare give up. You serve, you deserve. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening.